3:30. Okay, everybody, let's welcome in Dee Bradley Baker. Big round of applause.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys. I appreciate you hanging on there. Thank you. It's kind of a slog, an icy slog here.
Yeah, what do you think about our beautiful Portland weather today?
I wish it went away. I wish it were not this. I wish it were sunnier up here.
Yeah, how's FanExpo been so far for you?
It's been very leisurely. It's been very leisurely and low key, but I've still enjoyed it very much.
Any funny, memorable, heartwarming stories from fans that you've heard this weekend?
Well, it's all heartwarming. It's wonderful to see how much you guys love these characters and these shows that we make, and it's also fun to feel the anticipation for the final season of The Bad Batch, which is going to be landing very, very soon. And it's very, very good. I've seen it recently. Actually, I was talking today, and I was speaking about some details, and I forgot.
Oops! Oh, you spoiled?
Yeah, I forgot that I was talking about season 3, not season 2, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said any of that. The Filoni cone of silence has just covered the table, and we may not speak of this.
Okay, fine. We won't ask you anything about it.
Oh no, you want to be surprised. You don't want to know what's coming, but it's great. It's a great finale, and they do a fantastic job of bringing home the story and sharpening everything that you like about it, I think, and delving into what is the issue here.
Can you tell us anything about anything else that you're currently working on?
Well, let's see. We're working on another season of American Dad. You may find. Hey, Johnny, how's it going?
Going very good. How about you?
Great, Johnny. This is my buddy Johnny. Give Johnny a hand. Hey, Maureen. How's it going? Give Maureen a hand. Maureen's very, very good friends who come to support me. And let's see, what else? There's a movie coming out that may feature some simian characters, and I may be involved with some of the creature sounds in this movie featuring these simian characters, which is very exciting for me. My French bulldog is named Zira, and if you're as old as I am, or maybe a little bit younger, you may know what that means.
I don't.
It's a secret.
So, speaking of creature voices,
Yes.
I want to give you guys enough time to ask questions, but I'm curious about these creature voices you do. Do you have one that is your favorite, or the weirdest one you've ever come up with?
I'm particularly fond of the Airbender series. I don't think I'll ever be in a better show than that. I mean, other shows that may be as good, but I don't know that I'll be in a better show with them. And all the animals in that realm. So I have a very deep love for that series. Also Perry the Platypus. We're making more Phineas and Ferb right now, and everyone's very happy about that, including me. It's the most amount of money for the least amount of work I've ever done. To just do them. That's it. There's Perry the Platypus. It's a little different when he's playing a video game or snoring or something, but for the most part, it's just that one sound.
What are you doing in your mouth?
None of your business.
I know you're.
No, it's like a gargling. I got back of the tongue against the soft palate, and I put it over on the side, like that.
Easy.
You can do it.
Yeah, we can all do it.
It's easy as chewing gum. You can do it.
All right, how many questions do we have, you guys? Hands up.
questions.
I'll come to you. All right, go in there to the back.
And make them interesting.
No.
Throw me some new ones. Throw me some interesting ones. I am at your service.
All right, say your name and then ask your question.
Hey, my name is Grayson, and let's just say I watched you since the Clone Wars originally aired on Cartoon Network. really appreciate you voicing all the clones.
You're welcome.
And so anyway, my question is, what's your favorite scene in voicing like any of the clones? Like be that Rex, Cody, Hunter, Heavy, Crosshairs,
My favorite scenes?
Yes.
Well, one of my very favorite episodes aired the last season of The Bad Batch, which was called The Outpost, where Crosshair goes into the freezing desert with his clone companion there, and it's a really devastating, quiet, wrenching episode that I really appreciate that, and also the death of Fives really stands out to me a lot, and actually when the rebels first said hello to Rex and the boys, older Rex and the boys, I thought that was a really wonderful moment, especially for me, just to see these guys still alive. I thought that was really wonderful too. But there's so many. I mean, how do you choose favorite? I don't. Everyone's always asking for the superlatives, but those are hard with a show that's so consistently fabulous to tease out something that's outstanding above all the rest of it, when there's just so many wonderful choices for that.
Next question, oh, right here. Name and question.
Hi, my name's Mitch, and I wanted to ask what your favorite, I'm not going to go of the main clones, but what's your favorite like side character, like clone, or other character otherwise to play, and if there's a specific line from those that you would like to show us?
So this is a favorite non-main clone, is that the question?
Yeah.
Well, let's see, what's a main clone? I'm not sure what a main clone is, but...
Cody.
Yeah, Cody's a main clone. Okay, Cody's a main clone. I think we can all agree upon that. And Rex, but the side clones, I mean, in particular, 99 was very, he really meant a lot, you know, and he was just there for a very brief moment, but gone but not forgotten. So I might throw out 99 there. Actually, also, Cutler Quain was a clone, you know, the deserter who went to have a family and to continue on, and that's a really unique and interesting and admirable clone right there. Interesting episode too, because I thought it really kind of opened up Rex to a little less rigid view of the structure of how things play out, and he kind of learned that from a family man, which I found I resonate with that.
Another question? I saw your hand up.
Hi. What would you say is each Bad Batch's favorite genre of music?
Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, I would say that Tech would probably like Baroque music. It's very ordered and perfect. Crosshair probably listens to metal. I would think Wrecker might as well. I mean, Wrecker's really, he likes that. Echo, I'm going to assign Echo German techno pop. I'll give that to Echo. And then finally, Hunter listens to a lot of Barry Manilow ballads. Now that's a joke, but I'm going to leave it there.
Say your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Clark. I want to say thank you for coming out today.
You're welcome.
Even though the weather's crazy, but my question is, as a voice actor, what kind of goes into establishing a tonal shift in a scene, like kind of the climax of Shattered when the Order 66 goes down? When you're voicing characters who are all similar voices, how do you establish that something big is happening?
Well, the key to keeping everyone separate and everything clear and all of the stakes very distinct is to have a really good script and to have people who are running the show know what they want, and then they've given you a very good story where the stakes and what's at play is very clear. So that really helps. It's like you walk onto a stage that is already fully set, with the sequence is already mapped out for you. And the rest of it comes from you as an actor, where you're painting from your reality. using the brush of the emotional rivers that you have access to within you to create something that fits beautifully within this stage that has already been set for you. So a lot of it, the way I look at it, is one of specificity of imagination, so that you're creating something that just fits beautifully with the context that you have been provided. If that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. Actors talking about acting, it's either really boring or really intricate, and it's just odd. It's an odd thing to talk about how you pretend.
Yeah.
But it's and it's also a very personal thing for actors too, because we all have a very different way of approaching it, and it can be, you know, completely different from the people that you're working with. Everybody comes at it in a different way in terms of how you learn it, and then what your process is in making it work. It's your own. There's idiosyncrasy to all of it. So anyway, that's how I view it. I mean, in terms of keeping the Bad Batch distinct, which actually for me is easier than keeping just regular clones distinct, is that I think of them each as a very different person, and my comprehension of them is very specific, so that I can see them and feel them clearly, so that when I jump from one to the other when I'm going through a scene, it's like jumping from rock to rock. You're in a river, and you're just jumping from rock to rock, and each one feels very distinct and very separate and safe once you hit that solid rock and you're standing upon it. So they all feel very different, and it doesn't feel at all unnatural or even an effort to jump from one to the other for me.
I think this is a perfect time, because I'm sure people would want to hear it. I know you've done it a million times, but can you jump from rock to rock and do the Bad Batch voices for us?
Well, yeah. So Hunter there's a soft, a smokiness to Hunter, like that. Whereas Echo's there's a bit of a bite to Echo. And then Tech is breezier, and he's a little more British and clipped, but clear. And Crosshair is more like a snake. He's a coiled snake who's a little sour, a little snide, but very measured.
And then there's Wrecker, who's just a big boy. He's big and loud, and he likes things that blow up. Because he likes things that blow up.
And like I said, they're just different people that I jump from one to the other. Like, if you have someone who has facility with piano to say, play classical, now play jazz, now play Cole Porter. Now it's the same piano, but you just jump from one to the other because you see it. You have that facility and you have the control to do that.
It's very impressive. All right, we have another question. Say your name and your question.
Kelsey Radford. My question for you, just is concerning with, I actually asked this question earlier today to Moff Gideon and to the armorer about like what costume piece or what prop piece helped really sink the character in for them. I know voice acting would be different in that sense because you're not necessarily dressing up or propping and having that same kind of realization. What do you find in all of your careers as a voice actor helps you really sink in, like, this is this character, this is just that missing piece?
Yeah, I mean, and actors are different. Everyone has a different way of finding a little marker or a hook to hang your hat on. But for me, like I was kind of indicating, is with the clones and even with the Bad Batch, you find an adjective or two and then maybe shoot for that. Where Hunter is smoky, Wrecker is a joyous little boy, Crosshair is a coiled snake. And so sometimes it's an image and sometimes it's an adjective, but it's like that is the hook to hang the whole suit of the character upon, to have. I mean, like I remember, I heard that Anthony Hopkins said of Dr. Lecter, Hannibal Lecter, that he has this image of this drawer of instruments that are all glistening and gleaming that he sees before him. And that is this, yes, how awful. Exactly. And that's what he had in his mind that would conjure up in an instant this tone of this character that he has. And so it is of use, especially if you're doing a scene where you're standing in a room talking to yourself as 7 different characters, to have this kind of shorthand available, which is probably more important in like, you know, the Umbara arc or something like that from the Clone Wars, where the clones they're much closer to each other than the Bad Batch are. The Bad Batch are more distinct, and so it's actually easier to jump among those than it is to jump among, you know, Rex talking to Cody, talking to Jesse, talking to, you know, 99. It's so yeah. So it's either adjectives or maybe an image of something. That's what I use anyway.
Next question. Oh.
What else?
Hi, my name's Sam. I was going to ask, if you were to have a lightsaber, what color would it be?
Lightsaber. Let's see, lightsaber. I'd like kind of an alien green lightsaber. That sounds cool.
More questions? I'll get to you after. We'll do another round. Come back here.
So she actually stole my question, so I'm gonna have a comment instead. The whole idea behind the clones is that they're made to be the same, and yet, despite that, they are all different. They have personalities, dreams, aspirations. That's a really beautiful message. I just want to say thank you, because your performance sells that completely, and I really appreciate that.
I think that's the heart of what sells the stories and brings those stories to life and makes you relate to them, because they are indeed human. And ultimately on a planetary scale, that we share the same DNA across this planet. The variation genetically is just, it's insignificantly small. And yet, we are all unique and we are all together. Hopefully, the better way to go about that is to work collaboratively and to work with each other rather than against each other. Yeah, it's a very humanizing and heartening angle on something that started out, it wasn't that clear to start in the feature films, but once it's established that these are humans that are fighting robots. The robots are the same. The humans, all of them, even the clones that are genetically identical, they are distinct from each other. And that makes them human, and vulnerable, and interesting, and heroic, and relatable.
One back here.
Way in the back.
Hi, my name is Jay. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
I was just wondering, with the plots of Clone Wars and Bad Batch, has it left an impression on you as far as how you think about war in real life?
That's an interesting question, being a civilian, because I think in a sense, yes, because this is ultimately a story of political conflict and outright war, and there's much that's in play. There's much that's in play coming up in the new season that's it feels very contemporary, it feels very relevant to right now. And these are all questions that are playing out, is do we choose authoritarian or do we choose democracy? Do we choose obedience or independence? Do we choose collaboration or do we choose greed? These are all very human questions on a grand scale that are playing out right now, politically and socially across this planet and in this country. So, I mean, other than to say that I feel more connected to it because of the involvement that I have in this show. I'm not sure if I have more revelations beyond that, but yeah.
Say your name and your question.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm wondering actually, what's your favorite moment from American Dad, actually, just voicing in general?
American Dad. My favorite moment, well, I haven't seen all of them, but I've been watching a lot of American Dad recently. It's just kind of this little potato chip of a fun show that I watch at the end of the day to try to shake it all off, and sort of a palate cleanser in the silliness of that show. I'm very fond of Klaus creepily calling Danuta and just saying these weirdly offbeat things. You know, Danuta, will you go there? Do you want, what is it like? Do you want the money? Do you eat? Danuta, and it's just kind of this being this creepy, weird, freaked out, frozen self. He's a fun little character that's just off to the side mostly, but he'll say these odd little things, and then once you give him the keys to the car, you know, that's the worst thing you could possibly do, that he immediately switches it and takes over and is kind of this diabolical character who, thank heavens, is just confined to a goldfish bowl for the most part.
Here, name and question.
My name's Kayana Ishii, and I was wondering, which clone do you think you are most like, and why?
I'm probably gonna say I'm most like Tech. I'm very analytical. I think it serves my life well, but it also serves to make me different. And I think being really good at something and being your own self, it does make you different, and it may ostracize you in some ways, but you can still find your part in the collaboration of family or school or whatever it is, so that you have meaningful connection through that. Yeah, but I would say if there is a clone that I relate to, and I'm far from any of them, it would probably be Tech. May he rest in peace.
Oh.
Well, I wish that he did. But his farewell was heroic, and it was the end that any clone would wish, to save not only his friends but also conserve the mission. And he did that. You know, he did it.
All right, we got one right here.
Hello, my name is Sabrina, and I was just wondering, for the established clones like Rex and Cody that we saw a little bit before you came into the Clone Wars, how did you kind of like match their tone or voice to the little bit we'd seen and people had already started speculating about?
You're talking about to what degree did I reference the feature films coming into making the Clone Wars? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was precious little to draw from because they were not really clone-centered. And so, I mean, what I did is I would listen to the original reference, and I would start from that, but very quickly the show kind of became our own version of it. And some of the characters stayed pretty close to what we already heard in the features film. James Arnold Taylor's Obi-Wan, for instance. They stayed pretty close. Whereas Anakin was a whole different character altogether. It was like a course correction, which I think worked well. They originally started with a guy who sounded just like Hayden Christensen in the feature films. And they determined, because of the pace and the writing of the story, that they wanted to take it a different direction. And so there was a freedom and a latitude in the creation of this new series, which was really a very unprecedented series, a very risky proposition by George Lucas to restart and to adjust and to give freedom and new space to this basic idea. And so what I'm saying is that it was definitely a launch point and a starting point, but it wasn't something that we were trying to constantly check back to say, you know, is this close enough, or is this does this match enough of what we saw or what we heard before? George kind of steered it into this thing that became its own thing. And so very quickly for me, I kind of made the clones my own, is what I'm saying. And so did Matt for Anakin, and Ashley, of course, was starting from zero. So it was an interesting turn with a lot of adjustments and some openings that George Lucas built into the process that I think ended up playing out the way that he hoped and the way that we all saw, and that worked really well.
That's a good question. Anybody else have one? Oh, sorry guys.
Down
I
front.
wasn't looking in the front. How about you and then you? Name and question.
My name is Jude Garlitz. I was wondering, out of all of these studios and places that you've worked at and recorded voices for, do you have a most memorable or favorite studio that you've worked for?
See, I don't really think in terms of studios. I think in terms of the cast and the story. There are shows that stand out from an actor's standpoint that were particularly wonderful. The Avatar universe, the Airbender series, was particularly wonderful working with Andrea Romano and the actors that they had involved with that. Although for the most part, I didn't work for them. I was brought in at the end of the production of an episode to add Momo and Appa and the creatures, just performing to picture of what was already produced. Codename Kids Next Door was a great, fun ensemble that was such a blast, and I'm so gratified to see that people still remember and love that show. There was a show we did called Handy Manny, which you may remember. It's a kids show, sort of a fantasy coding with a rational core to it. And that was a really fun kind of a Carol Burnett sort of an ensemble that we had making that show. Great fun, such great fun. It was really fun doing the Clone Wars because we were there together sort of reimagining and rediscovering and recreating this, this world as an ensemble. And the ensemble cast, that's always the most fun as an actor to experience. So I'm very fond of that because some of us were, we had good experience, like me and James, Corey Burton, and then you had the newbies coming in, like Ashley at the time, who was just starting out and just learning what this was like. And so it was kind of a family of learning together to bring these stories to life. So, yeah, I would say more of those, more the ensembles. The studios, I'm not really aware of them as much, and I don't really care about that as much. For me as an actor, it's about the creation of the story and the people I'm making it with.
Another question in the front. Say your name and question.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm going to piggyback a little bit on these past two.
Yes.
It was good seeing you, or seeing some clones in Jedi Survivor. Are we going to potentially get more besides Bad Batch? Or is that, we've pretty much running out of clone-related material?
Jedi Survivor, remind me, what's that?
With Cal Kestis, the video game. We had a few clones.
Oh, I don't know of that.
Is Bad Batch going to be the last we see of clones, pretty much? Are you going to be involved in any of the Avatar stuff coming out?
The Avatar stuff, I've not been approached at all, and I would imagine that they're not going to use me.
We're going to have no bison.
They've got
no bison or lemur.
Oh, they got the bison and lemur, but it's not going to be me.
Oh.
But that's up. I mean, it's the M. Night Shyamalan didn't ask me to be involved. Thank God. So it just may be another bullet that I'll happily dodge once it's done. But we'll see. I don't wish any project ill. And but sometimes you get asked, sometimes you don't. And I don't own the characters. I only voice them. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but in terms of whether you'll see the Bad Batch beyond the end of season 3, that I don't know. But I would say, and I would observe, that Filoni and the writers pool, that they can take these stories not just forward, but they can take them sideways, and they can take them backwards, and they can go back as far as they want. And so, even if, for instance, and I'm just speculating here, honestly, if Tech is never to return again moving forward, that one could imagine, going back and, like, I don't know, doing a sitcom with him and Wrecker. Or something. maybe a musical, I don't know. Will there ever be a Star Wars musical? We'll see. It's gotta, how does that not happen? But in terms of any intel that I can bring you, I wouldn't tell you if I knew, but I will tell you that I don't know.
Well, while you guys think about your next question, I would like to ask you about one of my favorite shows growing up, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yes, what do you want to know about Legends? That's my first show.
How did that job come about to be on that?
The job came about, I was doing shows in Orlando at Epcot Center and at Universal Studios, and also doing a lot of improv and doing musicals and getting singing training, and generally just having a really great fun time as a performer, as an entertainer, as an actor. Who's calling me? Is it my mother-in-law? It's my daughter. Hang on, I gotta take it. It's my daughter. I want to make sure she's okay. Hello, Josie. I'm in the middle of a panel. What's up? Yeah, I did. I paid it online. I took it. Yeah, I mean, they can confirm it with Martin because I talked to Martin, and Martin took my credit card number, and so have them call Martin because Martin did it. Okay, good luck. Bye.
The old pretending to be Martin scam. You gotta change your card number.
What a good dad.
Back. I'm the dad batch up here. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Legends of the Hidden
How'd you get that job as Olmec?
Right. So I was doing all these things, having fun in Orlando, and they just had an audition because at the time, both Disney and Nickelodeon were trying to make that a production center where they're doing, Guts and they were producing shows at that time, and I just auditioned for this character that is this giant kind of authoritarian rock that tells stories and that entail lots of different voices. And that was kind of my thing as a young comedic entertainer, is just doing different characters. And I auditioned for it, and they liked me, and off we go. And then I spent 3 seasons standing inside a giant rock head, moving his mouth and talking while staring at a monitor. And yeah, that's how that played out.
Do you have any crazy memories of things that happened on that set?
Mostly I just remember yelling at the kids saying, "Go faster," because we would walk them through the temple before the temple run, so they were familiar with everything that they had to do. But they would inevitably it's just like walking through molasses once they say go. And I mean, it's like, you've got to move through that temple if you want to get to the prize, and then make your way out, which they often didn't. But we would be yelling, encouraging them to go this way. No, not that way. Don't go that way. We told you not to go that way. And that was the most exciting and fun part of the whole thing was
Yelling at the kids.
I was yelling at kids. Yeah, I'll send my daughter one more text here. Proof.
Daughters never get too old to need their daddy.
Okay. She got it figured out. They were confused. Victory. A momentary victory. Okay, one more question. What do you want to know?
Right here.
Me again, and
Me again, yes.
Anyway, given that you voiced the clones, have you ever mistaken one voice for another? Like, for example, like you're reading the script and like, oh wait, oh crap, this is not Rex's voice. This is Cody's line, or
that might have happened once or twice, but it was a very brief moment that I forgot about. It was not a significant moment.
You would notice more than anyone else.
I mean, when you act, you mess up all the time. It's not really a significant event. You just step over it and just keep going. You keep going with the making and the problem solving of the story. Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes left, guys. So think of your questions.
Hi, I'm Desiree again. So you were in Kid Next Door. You were number 4.
Yes, I was number 4 in Kids Next Door. Yes.
How often did the Rainbow Monkey song get stuck in your head?
Yeah, the Rainbow Monkey. That's the Rainbow Monkeys. Oh, so very round and super chunky, or whatever the lyrics are. Yes, that just doesn't let you go. It doesn't let you go. Once that grabs hold, that Rainbow Monkey does not let go.
Can you sing it for us?
No. I really can't remember it that well.
I tried.
It's been a while.
Hi, my name is Harrison,
Oh, yes.
and I have a question. How was it being able to voice Rachel Gould in Batman Arkham games?
It was fun. Yeah, it was great. It's a kind of a character that I don't get cast as very often. Part of that is just because it's not what I put out as my default energy. But I do remember when I auditioned for that role, and I was thinking, this looks like fun, and I'm going to give it the best I got. And I worked on that one for a while, and I really liked what my audition was. I remember. It's important that when you're putting out your audition, that it is something that you like, that really connects with you and that you're enthusiastic about. Because when it gets down to it, you're not trying to get work. You're not trying to make someone like you or to please somebody. You're making something that's good and offering it to them. And if they want it, great. But really what matters is that you are making something really awesome and offering it as a gift. That is the angle. And when you look at it from that way, then you have power. And you're not just begging. You're not begging for money, you're not begging for work, but you are generously offering them your work and this thing that you have made that you love and that makes sense and that feels right to you. There's a great empowerment to that kind of an attitude, because actors, especially when you're starting out, is that you feel that you just want to get a job, you just want to get an agent, you just want people to like you, you just want people to smile, and that's actually the opposite of what you want. You don't want people to smile, you want people to say, wow. You want people to say, I've got to have that in my show. You've got to be putting out something that's so irresistibly good that they have to hire you. But the important thing is that it's good, that it's really, really good. Yeah.
You have a question right here.
I was wondering, my name is Cole, by the way.
Hey.
I was wondering how much improvisational acting you have been able to contribute to the Bad Batch, and if so, are there any moments from the shows that stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm allowed, voice actors are often allowed in animation some improvisational latitude. And with the Bad Batch, yeah, I'll sometimes go in the ring with the writer and director on this line or that line, and I might pitch some ideas, and they may accept them, they may not, but they're certainly open to it. I mean, for instance, I'm remembering like with Tech's death, and his back and forth with Wrecker. We went around with that for quite a while. I think we ended up closer to what they originally wrote, but I was really investigating that for a while to make sure that this was the moment that they wanted, that really fit. But there's also a lot of offhanded stuff too. You know, like I believe, I believe like the Wrecker line,
I like to blow things up, because I like to blow things up.
I think that might have been improvised. I don't think they wrote it that way. And so that's what's wonderful, is that these characters, like I said, they feel like they're living beings, and they each have ideas, and they want to say things as clearly as they possibly can. So yeah, there's a fair amount of improv involved. Speaking of improv, an old movie I did called Space Jam, most of the jokes in Space Jam were improvised. Ivan Reitman would allow us actors to pitch and throw out lots of ideas. So a lot of the laughs that you hear coming from the Looney Tunes squad, the best laughs were really improvised. They weren't from the script.
Can you do Daffy Duck for us?
Yes, I can do Daffy Duck for you. It means so joyous and free, this way to old Sherwood High. Lots of fun to be Daffy Duck.
Lots of fun. Love to be Daffy Duck.
Hello, my name is Sammy. I have another question, but now I want to hear Daffy Duck say, "May the Force be with you."
May the Force be with you.
Yes, I And your monkey duck. Dance, monkey, dance. Do you have a question for the monkey duck?
Yes. What's your Subway order?
I feel like there's something I'm supposed to say, and I don't know what that is. I'll have some sliced turkey with guacamole. Hold the bun.
Hold the bun.
And no pickles.
Alright, got a question back here. Say your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I was wondering what character that you either voice now or have voiced in the previously could you just go on voicing like forever? Would you love to, just like never stop voicing?
I could do Daffy Duck forever. But really, I mean, there aren't a lot of characters where I can say, man, I really just want to stop doing this character. I can do Klaus forever. I can do Clones and Bad Batch forever. I'm not sure if I could do Number 4 forever because he yells a lot. But for the most part, I mean, these are perpetual characters that they're appealing to me and they're fun for me, and I want to keep doing. But it's an awful lot of fun to be Daffy Duck. I will tell you that.
We got about 4 minutes. Oh, right here.
To piggyback off of that, what would you say is your hardest character to voice that you've done?
Well, the most challenging is the Clones, which is something that's straight ahead and human, and I don't really think of myself as a straight ahead human, especially not earlier in my career. So that was pulling up things from my tool belt that I really didn't expect to be there. Yeah, so I would say the most challenging was probably the Clones, which was something that it wasn't at all clear that it was something that would even work. That they would sound different, or they would read right. We didn't know, George didn't know, we didn't know. So that was a bit scary. But as far as like difficult or challenging, most things for me, it's the answer becomes clear pretty quickly, and in most all cases I can come up with something that makes it work, that makes it feel right. And they may use all of it, or they may use some of it, that's up to them. But it's not, there's not a lot of drama beyond that. It's just kind of, it's happy improvisational problem solving is how it feels, which is fun.
Good questions, guys.
Yeah.
Just a couple more minutes. Oh, right behind me. Name and question.
Hi, my name is Jesse. I don't know if this question has been asked already, but if you had to pick one clone, which is your favorite?
I mean, I can't pick a favorite clone. I mean, they're all so admirable and such likable, good guys. I think they're great. I like them all, but Rex has a nice warmth to him that I like. That we've kind of arrived at that. There's a bit more warmth to the old lion, and so maybe it's going to be Rex.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I was just wondering if you could do the Perry the Platypus.
Oh my God, it's Perry. Yeah, we're making more of those. More coming. There's a hand over here. Little Mickey Mouse hand. It looks like a Mickey Mouse hand.
Or up here? Oh, right.
It's a Spider-Man glove. I'm a human spider.
He has 4.
Spider-Man glove? Okay.
My name is Maddie, and I was just wondering what your favorite Star Wars movie was.
What my favorite Star Wars movie was? Well, it's really hard for me to choose between 4 and 5. 4 was just, I mean, it's probably going to be 4. I mean, it was a delirious moment of gobsmacked awe, at the age of probably, I think I was probably 13 or so, or 14, to see the original one that just came out of nowhere, that was like nothing I'd ever seen, and was everything that I wanted to see. So I'm going to probably have to choose 4, with a close second would be 5, which was, I wish that new generations could see that with no expectation or understanding of what is to be revealed, in the one line that rewrites 2 movies in a single sentence. Which is episode 5.
It's the best film in
Okay, we're gonna get one more question in. It's 4:15, but you look so good, so I can't deny you.
Hi, my name is Felicia,
Hey.
and I wanted to know if you would be a good soldier and follow orders.
Why did we ever follow orders? In acting or voice acting or even being a creative entrepreneur, go to my website, iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It's completely free, and everything that I have learned, everything that I think and pontificate about is on that site for you. So please check it out. I'll be signing a little bit more, but then I'm going to be gone. So if you want a signature, if you want an autograph, I'm here for just a little bit more. I'll be back at the table. Thanks for it all.